Hi, my name's Kirk Norbury, and today I'm going to be going through what I have in my camera bag. So to start with, the camera bag I use this, which is the f-stop Loca. I got it in black, you can get it in blue, and I think you can get it in like a green colour as well. I chose this one because it's less obvious to people what's in there, and it just doesn't stand out as much, so it just blends in a bit. It's a really great bag. I'm going to be doing a review on it to show you why I like it and why I've chosen this style of bag. But to sum it up, it's a great bag for walking with. It can take a lot of gear, but it can also take like my coat and other little bits and bobs that I take with me, and it's just really well built as well. So what I've done is I've taken the gear out of it and I've placed it around here so I can go through what I put in this bag. So to start off with, I use two cameras. I have the Sony A7R, which is this one here, an amazing little camera. I just got the L plate for it, which is working really well. I got this off eBay for about £15 and it's working really well. The second camera I use is the Sony A6000. So it's a crop factor camera. It's a lot smaller than this, lighter, and it's the camera that's filming this right now. I use that camera for filming. I also use it for fast moving objects due to the autofocus. And it's great, just a little pocket camera to carry around with me. I've been using the A7R for about 6 months now, and I am completely turned to Sony. This is an absolutely amazing camera. I'm hoping in the next 6 months I'll be getting the Sony A7S to use for its low light capabilities and 4K recording. So let's move on to the lenses. So the first lens I'm going to show you, this is the Samyang 24mm 1.4. This is the cine version, so it's a T1.5, but it still has the aperture of a 1.4. This is an amazing lens. It's a little heavy, but it's built really well. I love the design of it. I love the gears. You know, for film, it's great for adding a follow focus to it to have a really smooth manual focus, and the same with the aperture blade. It's just a completely declit aperture ring. So that's that one. As well as the 24mm, I also have the Samyang 14mm 2.8. This is my super wide astro lens. It's got some heavy distortion on it, so you need to have the correct lens profile corrector in Lightroom. It took me a while to find it, but I eventually got it where it could even out the horizon without having any weird lines or bulges or sort of fisheye effect. So that's a great lens. Both of these are the Sony fit, so I don't need adapters for them. Next lens is the Canon 50mm 1.8 FD. So this is from the old film days. I got this super cheap on eBay, it cost me about £20, and the adapter was about £4. So that's the Canon FD to Sony E-mount adapter. So that's that one. It's great. The reason I like this, you know, you don't have to use, it has no electronics, so it's great for manual focus. The aperture is beautifully smooth, and did I say aperture? I mean the focus ring. Focus ring is super smooth on it, and you've also got the aperture ring there. So that's that one. And to go with it, I actually got another one because I love that one so much. This is the Canon 135mm FD lens. I think this is the 3.5 aperture version. There's a 2.8 as well, but I didn't really need to get that one. So again, this is a cheap lens. Got this for around, I think this was cheap. I think this was about £15. So again, just the same adapter. Chuck that on there, and I use that. I use it quite a lot. It's great for like zooming in to a scene and having a nice fixed prime focal length. So that's that one. The other lens I use is the Sony 28-70, which is a kit lens coming with the A7, and that's on the Sony A6000 right now. That's a great little handy lens. I quite like it because it's similar to the 24-70 without the price tag, and I still think it's a very sharp lens. It's really good detail, and it's quite a cheap lens to get as well. So let's move on to the accessories and other things that I use. So the first thing I always have with me is my tripod, which is just over here. So this is my tripod. It's a Gitzo GT3541 LS. Great tripod. I've had this for a few years now, and I don't see the point in getting rid of it or grading it. You know, it's taken a battering, but it still performs like it's brand new. About once a year I take it apart by unscrewing all the locking parts here, pull it all out, and I clean all the tubes and then put it back together, and so it's nice and good. You even get a toothbrush inside all the threads inside here, just to get any bit of sand and grit out of it, just try and keep it nice and clean. If you look after these, they'll last a lifetime. So that's just a ball head on here, just one from China, just use, it's great. I've got about 4 of these, and I haven't had any issues with them. I would love a really right stuff one, but they're super expensive, and I can't justify spending that much unless I've got money lying around, and so I'd rather get something a bit cheaper that works just as good. And these are really good, and they're quite heavy duty as well. So that's the tripod. I also have a second tripod. It's just a cheap one I use for in my office for these videos, and it's just a cheap one I got on eBay, so that's the one holding the A6000. So let's go into the accessories. First one is SD cards. I've got tons of these lying around. This is just a case I got for them on eBay. It's waterproof, shockproof and all that. So I just use SanDisk cards. I try to use extreme cards as I can because I use a lot of time-lapse, so I need those fast writing speeds for the buffer. So that's them. One thing with the Sony is they do chew up batteries quickly, and like I said in other videos, you can get around that by buying more batteries and just keep an eye on them. So, you know, altogether I think I have 7, and what I do is I just keep them all in this bag. And I usually have another bag which is similar to this, where as soon as one dies it goes into that bag, so I know any batteries in there need recharging. Any in this bag are fully charged at 100%, so it's just a good way of keeping on top of it. Next thing, I use just an Allen key set, tightening like the L plates, Arca Swiss plates on my slider, bits of my tripod, you know, just anything really, most things have an Allen key, so always have one of these with me for tightening stuff. The filter holders, I use 2 filter holders. I use the Stealth Gear one here, which is pretty cool, and I also use the LaCroix 100mm system as well. I love this one because I can attach a circular polarizer to it as well, and it's super lightweight, so I always carry 2 with me just in case. And it's great for workshops as well, because if I'm running a workshop, if someone's new to filters and they don't have one, they can always borrow one of these so they can use them and see what they're like, because I always carry like 1 million filter adapters with me for both of these. So that moves on to the filters. See, there's just a few of the filter adapters. You don't need to see them, everyone knows what they do. At the moment I only have a few filters. I don't use too many. With the A7R, the dynamic range is so good that sometimes I don't need to use that many filters. Really the filters I use are for changing shutter speed and having an effect. So I use this one here. This is a 10-stop Stealth Gear filter. It's pure glass and it's absolutely incredible. It's the best 10-stop filter I've ever used. I haven't used one of the Lee filters, but the results I'm getting out of this one, I don't see the point in even trying it. So I'm happy with it, so I don't see the point in changing. It's that one. This is one of the Stealth Gear. This is one of the Grads. That's just like a 0.6, I think it is. So that's quite handy for sunsets. Really great for darkening the top of the scene while keeping the foreground perfectly exposed. And this one is, I think this is my polarizer. I think. Yes, this is a polarizer. This is for an 82mm which fits my Samyang 24mm. It's what I use it with mainly. If I use it for any of the lenses, I have a couple like step down rings, so I can use them with that. That's them. This is a new toy. It's one of those magic arms, so I can attach this to a tripod if I want to use a second camera, like the A6000. If I'm just taking one tripod, I can take this clamp off and attach this straight to the A7R if I don't want to use the tripod. And these are great because all you do is you just untighten that bit there and you have complete movement of the whole thing, and as soon as you tighten it up, it locks everything. Great little tool to have in it. Everyone should have one of these in their bag because it's just sometimes at locations you might not have a tripod, or you've got two cameras but only one tripod and you make use of one. Something like this really comes in handy. Let's see, what else have we got? Tape. I carry green tape with me everywhere. I use this for tying cables down, wrapping the interferometer around my tripod to stop it blowing in the breeze. These come in handy. I recommend everyone has a bit of tape or gaffer tape with them at all times because there's always a reason that you need it. As you may know, I'm a time-lapse photographer, so I have my intervalometers. These are two that the cheaper ones. I don't see the point in spending the stupid amounts that like Canon and Nikon seem to charge people. They seem to charge stupid prices for them when it's just basic technology. So these are two Chinese ones, but the thing is they have interchangeable cables on these. So I've used these since my Canon, and all I did was change the cables to fit my Sony cameras. So I've got two of those and they just fit straight into the ports. So they're brilliant, essential for me. Like I said earlier, I have a lot of batteries, so that means I have to charge them a lot. So what I have is two chargers. I've taken the cables out anyway, so waste of time looking at them. So that's the one I got with the Sony A6000. Just a little one, just for singles. I didn't even know you got one because I assumed that you didn't get chargers with them, because you don't get any chargers with the Sony A7R, A7S and A7 cameras. So that was cool that I got that. And I also have this one, which is a dual one I got from Amazon, so I can put two in there. So whenever I get back and I've got to shoot the next day, or I'm away and I'm at a hotel, I can charge three batteries at once, and they just take a couple hours to charge them all, and then I can get through them all very quickly. So I always have these chargers. One other thing I use a lot for my photography is a slider. I have a Shoot Tools slider with a motor, and it's just over there, but if you want to see it, best looking at my review and see of it. It's a really good motorized slider I use for my time-lapse, and it's great for video as well. You can take the motor off really quickly, and I can just do normal sliding pan motions with it, so it's really great for that as well. So that was a sort of quick insight into what I use in my f-stop bag. You know, this bag takes a lot. It takes all this and plus bits of other accessories I carry around, like torches and headlamps and all that sort of stuff. A crap load of batteries. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It's just a quick insight into what I use, but I try to go as light as I can, so I don't take all this at the same time. Sometimes I just take bits of it, but if I'm going away, I do try to take all of this, and it all fits in there perfectly, and still room in the top as well. If you have any questions about the gear I use, please feel free to leave a comment or send me an email. I try to get back to the emails as quickly as I can, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. See you later.